Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be doing a story time. I can't believe I'm going to film this story. I've actually tried to record this 3 times. No, this would be the, nope. Yeah, 3 times. And I've even tried to edit it twice and I was like, I don't know if this is a story that I should share because Toronto is so small, but I still have a lot of people on my social media accounts that would probably know who I'm talking about in the story. Well, the people in the story, but honestly, I don't care because it's my story, so I'm gonna share it. I'm spilling the tea because it's still hot. Anyways, I'm gonna be telling you guys a story about how when I was 15, my best friend at the time betrayed me, tried to get me jumped, and I got kicked out of my high school. So before I start the story though, let me give a backstory as to why I went to the school that I went to and just why things were the way they were. I don't even know if it's relevant to the story, whatever, you can decide. So my elementary school, I didn't start school there. I think I started, why am I saying I think? I know. I started elementary school at a different school, but this was like way back in the day when we had like junior and senior kindergarten. So I think I did 1 year at that school and then I left, then I went to a different elementary school and I pretty much like my whole elementary school career was in that one school. And I was bullied a lot at that school. I was bullied for my appearance because I was chubbier than most people. I had a gap, which I still have. People bullied me because of my name because it's like a boy's name, and people bullied me because I was in French immersion. So for those of you that don't understand, French is our second language here in Canada, so my schooling, like everything was in French. Like I had to talk French in class. All my worksheets, the questions were in French. Like everything was just French. It was as if French was the first language. And I was also bullied because of my hair, which is so weird. Girls would bully me because I guess I had nice hair for how I don't even know, but I literally was just bullied for breathing and just being there. And like, I don't know, it's weird because I never did anything to nobody. I wasn't like a weird kid. I didn't smell or anything like that. Like there was really no reason as to why people needed to bully me, but I was bullied all the time. But I never told anyone. Like I never told my mom, I never told any of the teachers at the school or like the principal, because I thought that like if I told people that I was bullied, it would just make things worse. And if you're somebody that's been bullied, you already know that sometimes telling people that you're being bullied makes the situation worse. So I was like, I'm not telling nobody. So I literally rocked with it for my entire, like I guess from kindergarten to grade 8. I just let it be what it was. And then when it came time for us to pick our high schools, I was like, I'm going to a high school that nobody, well barely anyone is going to, because I don't want to be around these people anymore. I want a fresh start. I want to be able to be myself. I don't want problems. Like I want to get away from all these people. I cannot stand these people. So I went to a high school that was my home school, meaning it's really close to home, so they have to accept me anyways. And they had extended French because I was in French immersion. So extended French means that you take certain courses that are in French. Not all your schooling is in French, and you get like a certificate that says you're fluent in French at the end or whatever. Clearly we still got kicked out of school. I didn't end up getting that, but we'll get to that. So grade 9 now. Grade 9 was like the best school year I have ever experienced in all my years of school. I loved grade 9. I was scared because you hear rumors about like the older kids like hating on the Niners and stuff like that, but the older kids loved me. Like I was friends with the older kids. I literally would like skip school and hang with them because they thought I was cute. So like just grade 9 was the greatest year ever. I had so many friends. I made friends quickly, which was surprising because at my elementary school that was not the case. I had like a crew slash clique, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Like I had my go-to friends that I would do everything with. I shared a locker with them. We were always together at lunch and after school and stuff like that. Like I just loved grade 9. So I'd say like in the spring, I remember it was warm. I don't want to say halfway into the year, but I would say like around spring, one of the girls that I was really close with, that she was in my clique, she introduced me to this girl. What are we gonna call her? We're gonna call her Air Forces because that's all she wore. That's the only pair of shoes that I ever saw her in, and they were always clean. She introduced me to her because I guess she had met her in one of her classes or something like that, and she was like, she's new, she doesn't really know anybody, and she doesn't have a lot of friends, and apparently she lived in your area, so maybe like you could talk to her and you guys could be friends or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool, like that's not an issue. So she was really pretty. She was like tall. Well, everyone's taller than me because I'm literally the size of a Smurf, but she was tall. She had long brown curly hair. She was light skinned. I don't know if I said that already because I'm already losing my train of thought. And she was like developed, like in the right places, if you know what I mean. catch my drift? You catch my drift. So I don't know how, but a rumor started about her that she and to this day I don't know if this rumor is true, and I also don't know how to say what the rumor is without being flagged on here because it's not pretty. Pretty much she did something strange for a little piece of change, and that change was a bus ticket, and she did it to I don't know how to say this, that something strange, catch my drift, was done to a guy in an older grade that everybody like loved off because he was so cute and he was a dancer. And back then guys that danced, I guess, was like the greatest thing on earth. I don't really know. That's when You Got Served and Honey and all those movies came out. So yeah, so people started hating on her as a result of that. I guess because she was new and she was a niner and she pulled this guy that was older that everybody wanted. And she even showed up to school one day with a nasty black eye. And I asked her and I'm like, yo, what happened to you? Like, what's going on there? And she's like, I got jumped on my way to the store in our area. And I was like, what the hell? This part of the story now, this is where two specific people come into play. What are we gonna name them without making it hot? No matter what, I feel like people are gonna figure it out anyways, but we're gonna call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. And when I say people are gonna figure it out, I'm saying people that I still have on social media from my area and just from school that I went to. People are probably gonna piece it together, but honestly, whatever, I really don't care. What's done is done. So we're gonna call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. And Thing 1 was the ringleader. She was like the alpha dog, the alpha male. She's not a male, but you know what I mean. So Thing 1 went to our school, and she also was friends with people in mine and Air Force's area. And then Thing 2 was her best friend, and Thing 2 didn't go to our school, but she went to my elementary school in my area and knows everybody in my area. So keep that in mind. So I don't know to this day, but I have a very strong feeling. Well, not that I have a very strong feeling. It's pretty obvious that it's Thing 1 and her people that gave Air Forces the black eye. So now it's summertime, school's done, like we're just chilling, enjoying our summer, and one day me and Air Forces are going to McDonald's in our area, which is like from mine and her house, because if I look out my window I can see her house. From mine and her house it's like, well, from my house to her house it's literally like a 3-minute walk, and then from her house to McDonald's is like a 1-minute walk. So we were going to McDonald's, and all of a sudden Thing 1, Thing 2, and all these people that I know because I lived in that area forever and went to school in that area for too damn long, and this girl that's literally known for fighting for fun, they run up on us, and I'm like, here we go. So pretty much they start yelling at Air Forces, talking about how she's been talking a lot of mess and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh great, either she's about to get her ass beat or we're both about to get our ass beat. But I didn't think I was gonna get my ass beat because I was cool with Thing 1 and Thing 2. Like, they were actually my friends, which I probably forgot to mention earlier when I first brought them up. But they start getting ready to jump her, putting their hair up in a ponytail and all that, just doing the absolute most. And then the girl that literally just was fighting just for fun, she was also a friend of mine, and she looks at me and she's like, Jovi, I like you and everything, but if you jump in, I'm beating you up too. And I knew what this girl's capable of, and I knew what Thing 1 and Thing 2 are capable of, and I was not trying to get my ass beat. So I'm not gonna lie, I stood there and I froze. So they start jumping her, and this girl that lives across the street, she's like known in the area, she's respected because she went to elementary school with all of us except for the girl that fights chicks for fun. And then Thing 1, she was older, she's older than all of us, she comes across the street and she breaks it up, and everybody pretty much scatters. And then she literally looks at Air Force and she's like, why are you always getting beat up? And I was like, yo, how many times have these people beat this girl up? Like, it's really not that deep. And over a dude, like, if a guy doesn't want you, a guy doesn't want you. It's not that serious. Like, and none of them were dating him at the time. They just thought he was cute. Everyone thought he was cute. So anyways, I take Air Forces to my house so she can get cleaned up because she looked rough. Like, she used to wear a lot of makeup, and I even remember what she was wearing to this day. how crazy is that? She wears a lot of makeup, so she had makeup like all over her white shirt, and then like her jeans and her shoes were just like a mess. So I took her down my house to get cleaned up, and like I said, if I look out the window I could see her building. But let me tell you, I had to walk her home, and we had to take like some intricate way so that we didn't run into anybody. I don't even remember what way we took. I think I had to like walk down this far street behind the building, and like it was just the most, just to walk her home so she didn't get beat up again. After I dropped her home, I didn't really see her because her mom sent her either to her grandma's or her dad's, I can't remember, just because she was getting beat up all the time. So like her mom had enough, so she sent her like away, and then I spoke to her like here and there on MSN, but like not a lot. Anyway, she comes back in time for grade 10. Obviously it's grade 10 now, like we all kind of just want a fresh start. She especially wants a fresh start. We're not Niners anymore, so like we feel like we have more respect in the school. And even though I still had like my crew, like my group of friends, I was friends with everybody, so I would like hop friend groups a lot, but I still like chilled with her and I still saw her, like we were still close. And then it got to a point where I didn't really see her around school as much. Like I would see her here and there, but we were still tight. Like we still walked home every day. I just wouldn't see her during the day. We still walked home, we still spoke on MSN all the time. Like we were still pretty close. Then I remember specifically one day I told her, I'm like, you should get your ears pierced, because her ears weren't pierced. And I thought it was the weirdest thing because being black, my ears were pierced when I was like 1 year old, so I thought it was the weirdest thing that her ears weren't pierced. So I told her that she should pierce her ears. And then this is when like side ponytails and hoop earrings were really in style. So I was like, you should definitely pierce your ears so you can get like hoop earrings and you can do a side ponytail, because that's what was popping. Like that was like my go-to every day. I know that sounds random, me just throwing that in the story, but that's very vital to the story, so just remember that. Time passed and I didn't really see her. I'd say like 2 months passed and I didn't really see her at school anymore. Like I wasn't even walking home with her, and I don't remember seeing her on MSN either. Like it's not like we fell off, but I just didn't see her. And we didn't have cell phones around this time really. Like we had phones, but texting wasn't like a big deal. Like texting plans were not that deep around that time, so I didn't really see her. So one day now I'm at school and who pops up? Her. And she has a struggle side ponytail. Like her ponytail just looked like a mess, and she had big silver hoop earrings in. So I was like, oh, like she took my advice. Like she, you know, she did what I like suggested that she do. Cool. So I saw her in the hallway and she gave me a dirty look, and I was like, okay, something's not right here. But like because of what I went through in elementary school, I was definitely not, and I already had like hundreds of friends at school, I was not going up to her and like begging for her friendship. So I kind of just let it be what it was, because I was like, well, okay, you aren't at school for like months and then you pop up and you have the look that I told you to do and you're not even talking to me. So I was like, all right. Okay, so later that day, I see her with Thing 1, because like I said, Thing 1 goes to our school. So come to find out, she hasn't really been in school because she's been like kicking it with Thing 1, and now they're cool and friends or whatever, all at the expense of me, because she decided to take it upon herself to tell Thing 1 and Thing 2, and I guess that crew, that it wasn't her that was running her mouth about them, it was me. And I was like, I beg your pardon? I did not understand. I was like, for one, what? I don't know how it happened, where it happened, when it happened, but I was now on their list because of her. She lied on my name and said that I was talking about them, and I never said a word about these girls. For one, they were my friends. 2, I knew what they were capable of. And 3, if I finally have a group of friends, why am I going to do something to jeopardize that? And then I just didn't understand like why they even believed that story or what she really said to them, because if there's people that are beating me up on a regular basis or coming after me and I can't even hang outside in my own area, do you think I'm just gonna sit there and not talk bad about them at all, or be like, these girls are and blah blah blah? Or like, do you think I'm gonna sit there and be like, they beat me up every day but they're so nice, they're so pretty? Like, I don't know why they even believe the story that I was the one that was running my mouth the whole time, when in fact it was her. Like, it just didn't make any sense. And to make matters, like, just so it was so dumb. And then to add to that, like, I was in a dance crew with the both of them from our community center, so I was like, why would I even do something to jeopardize, like, what? Like, it just made no sense whatsoever. So at this point, like, I'm not even sad or mad. I was just more shook because I'm like, I know these girls are capable of, like, I saw what they did to her. I've seen them beat up other chicks, like, and now I have to deal with this. So when I tell you I was shook, I was literally shook. Like, I cannot fight. I've never been in a fight. And then who's trying to get beat up and be embarrassed? Like, I just didn't understand. Like, and I still to this day, I do not understand. So anyways, like I mentioned before, my school was very small. So like, if there was beef and it happened at the beginning of the day, by the end of the day, everybody's gonna know. So everybody found out, I guess, at the same time as me about the made up beef between me and Thing One, and as a result, everybody stopped talking to me. Like, everybody stopped messing with me because everybody thought I was a shit talker. And back in the day, like, who wants to be friends with a shit talker? So I was just like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? I finally make friends and I'm finally happy and blah blah blah, and this is what's happening to me. So the day that I found out, I like, because obviously, like, MSN was popping. As soon as I would get home, my computer would be on and I'd be signing in on MSN. So I saw her little thing pop up in the corner at the side, and I hit her up and I was like, yo, like, what's happening? Like, what is the deal? And she went offline right away. So pretty much, I'm pretty sure she blocked me. I'm like, you got the balls to talk on my name and I've never done nothing to you and you can't even respond to me. Like, it was just so lame because I knew what these girls were capable of. And like, I was not trying to get my ass beat at school at all. I wasn't trying to get beat, period. So after that, as soon as the bell would ring, I would literally run to the bus stop and I would just hop on the bus and go straight home. I didn't talk to anybody because nobody spoke to me. I couldn't hang outside my area anymore, and my area was popping on Friday evenings and Saturdays, and everyone would always be at the community center at the basketball court, and I could never go because all those people would be there and I was not trying to get my ass beat. So that is what my life had come to at that point. So at this point, I'm literally just by myself in school. I would just go to school, go to class. I wouldn't really associate with anyone. I used to share lockers with like my group of friends, but because they stopped talking to me, I took all my stuff out and I had to get a locker somewhere else. At lunch, I would either hang out in the bathroom by myself or I would hang out in the library. And then I kind of just stopped feeling pity for myself and I was just overdoing all that. So I started hanging out with the guys in my grade that were like low-key. They weren't nerds, but they weren't popular. They were just like in the middle, if that makes sense. Guys aren't really about the drama. Like, they don't care. They really could care less. So I started hanging out with them, and then I kind of started hanging out with like other girls who also like weren't nerds, but they weren't cool. They were kind of just like in the middle. They were just regular. They were just normal, you know? But because I was spending most of my time with guys, a rumor started now that I was in fact a hoe, and I was like, are you serious? I'm like, how? I have never done anything with anyone in this school. Like, nobody in that school was worthy. No disrespect whatsoever. I'm so sorry. I'm really not sorry, but I never did anything with no one in that school, contrary to what people might believe. But I was like, are you serious? I literally can't catch a break, but like, we all know who started that story. So at that point, I hit like an all-time low in my depression because I just couldn't catch a break. So I got really depressed and I started acting up in school. I was always late. I was talking back to teachers. I was not doing my work, and I was always in the office because teachers were always sending me there. So it got to the point where like I would have specific classes. Instead of going to those classes, I would just go there, get my work, and sit in the office and do my work until the next period, because that's how bad it was. I had to meet with a guidance counselor every week and just talk about like my issues and my problems, and things got so bad that I had to have a meeting with my guidance counselor, my mom, and my dad. I think they had a meeting first like on their own, and then after I was called into the meeting. I can't really remember because it was so long ago, but my dad wasn't even in my life like that. So the fact that he showed up for a meeting, like, you knew it was real. And then the vice principal was like, honestly, the school's not fit for you. I don't think you should be here. And he was like, you have to, like, he pretty much told me that I have to leave. But the school that I went to, it was not a semestered school. So you had 8 to 7 courses for the whole whole year, and then you would do your exams at the end for all those courses. But if I had left school in the middle of the year, I would have lost all 8 of my credits that I would have to have gotten that year, or I would have had to go to semester school and I would have only got 4 credits and I would have been behind 4 credits, or I would have had to just stay home for the school year and just write off the school year, and I would just be behind a year. And like, I was not having that, my mom was not having that, so I was able to stay, but he was like, you can't come back next year, like it's not happening, like you're not coming back to the school next year. So I had to get this package filled out for me to transfer to a new school, because if it's not your home school, they don't just take you automatically, and there was no other school around me that I could go to or wanted to go to. So I had to get this package filled out, and I can't remember what was in the package, but my principal had to fill out a package about my behavior, and there's like a spectrum where you pick where the student's behavior is. He literally had to draw his own because my behavior was that bad, and I really thought at that point that I wasn't going to get into another school, and I was stressed because I can't stay here. There's no other school that I want to go to. My other option for my homeschool, that school, I would rather eat glass than go there. So I was like, my life is ruined. I'm like, this one girl ruined my life and he's gonna add to it. Like, I was so stressed. So I literally had to ride out the rest of the school year. This happened in the winter, so I still had the rest of the winter to go through, then spring, and then the end of the school year. But let me tell you, the rest of the school year, I'm actually glad things happened the way they did, because I made so many, not that I made so many new friends, but just the people that I decided to give my time to and spend like time with and get to know and hang out with were way better than the people that I was wasting my time with when I was in grade 9. I don't even know how to describe, but I'm like kind of grateful that all that stuff happened, because I met so many better friends and I like didn't run into any more problems at all. The only problems that I ran into was this one guy. I think he had a crush on me, but I wasn't feeling him. I was feeling his friend. He called me a gold digger one day and out of the blue, and I was like, do you even know what that means? It was just whatever. Guys are so weird. So I wrote out the rest of the school year, and after that I said sayonara, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, and I was done with that school and the people there. And honestly, I didn't see thing 1 or Air Forces for the rest of the school year, because thing 1 got kicked out because she like had her own issues. Like, she was bad as hell. And then Air Forces, I don't know what she was doing. I don't care what she was doing. I didn't see her. Nobody saw her. And it's funny because people tried to start being my friend again, or like creeping back in, and I was like, skirt, like, you made your decision. I made my decision. I don't want to talk to you guys. I want nothing to do with you. You want to come back now? No, keep the same energy. So that is my story about how my best friend betrayed me, tried to get me jumped, and I got kicked out of school as a result of all of that. Honestly, all I have to say is karma is very real, because years later, and when I say years later, I mean literally 2 years ago, I found out that thing 1 and thing 2 treated Air Forces like trash. Like, they literally treated her like she was their slave. They just took advantage of her, and I'm just like, sis, you tried to ruin my life for what? You wanted my spot so bad for what? Because they didn't treat me like trash. They didn't treat me like no slave. Like, you were literally used. You had a good friendship here, and you just wanted my spot so bad. So last year I actually ran into thing 1, but I didn't recognize her. I'm not gonna get into details why I didn't recognize her though, but just know I did not recognize her. She recognized me though, and she ran up to me and she gave me a hug, and I was like concerned and I was confused, but I guess that she forgot about everything. I'm not really surprised, to be honest, that she forgot about everything, because yeah, but I think that she forgot about everything, and she was just asking me about life and stuff like that, and it was just very uncomfortable for me because I was terrified of this girl when I was younger. I couldn't hang out in my own area. I couldn't even run to the store for my mom because I was afraid that I was gonna get jumped. So like, it was just weird seeing her and her literally not remembering anything and running up to me and giving me a hug, but that's what I'm gonna say about that. And then thing 2, I still see her on the regular. Like, I see her all the time, but she doesn't look my way. Like, she doesn't look at me, she doesn't talk to me or nothing like that. And I don't know if it's because she's still holding a grudge and she still hates me or whatever, or if she just feels dumb about the whole situation and just doesn't want to talk to me about it, which is fine. I don't really need to talk to her. And then as for Air Forces, all I'm gonna say is rest in peace, Air Forces. So yeah, that brings me to the end of my story time. Honestly, I want to know people's opinions on this story, so definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think, especially if you made it to the end of this video. Let me know how you would have handled things differently if you've been bullied, like all that. Just let me know all that. I actually want to hear it. I want to read it. I read all the comments, so definitely let me know. And before I go though, I definitely want to say thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers that I've got because of my last video. I really did not think that video was gonna do that well, but it did. So thank you all. Welcome. I really hope you guys enjoy the content that you see on this channel. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna give you some time to do it right now. That's enough time. So I will see you guys soon in another video. Bye.